So, hello guys, welcome to our ever first MA session in video. Hi, Mariana, our guest for today, the Trading Parrot. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, Anna. Thanks for having me. It's very exciting to be doing this first AMA together here with all these amazing people.
Yeah, likewise. We're very happy to have you here, and we're very excited to hear all of the things and all of the experiences you're just about to share with us. So, guys, for those who are joining our MA session, probably you've seen the topic that today we're actually going to focus more on 3Commas crypto screener feature, but actually we call it a little bit differently. It's called market data insight feature in our DCA bot. It was inspired by the trading view feature, and obviously Mariana, the trading parrot, is going to share his experience with our feature and all of the others that he tried. So, Mariana, could you please share with us a little bit of your background, your journey in crypto trading, and your experience with 3Commas tools?
Yeah, absolutely. I still remember back in 2020, in mid 2020, when I discovered 3Commas and I published the first video where at that point I was using trading bots on another platform that doesn't exist anymore. So never mind. But when I discovered 3Commas, for me was really mind blowing to see, so many tools put together so nicely at that point in time. And I moved all my trading in crypto to 3Commas, not just for the DCA bots, but also the smart trades and all those things. Completely step up the game at that point in 2020 for me, and I continue using it even up until today.
That's amazing. We are really happy to have you on board because you've been telling a lot about 3Commas in your videos that we use a lot on our YouTube channel, and you're like one of the most advanced users of our platform. So we're
Thanks.
happy to have you here. So let's just dive in a little bit into the main topic of our MA session today, which is crypto screener. The feature that we have in our DCA bot, as I already said, it's called Market Data Insight. And this tool provides enhanced analysis capabilities and allows traders to select the best trading opportunities based on real-time market data. And guys, for everybody who's listening to us, this feature is currently available in beta mode only and can be accessed in both classic and advanced views. And if you have this feature, if you have the beta mode on, please let us know in the chat if you ever tried this feature before. So, Mariana, what is your experience with this?
Um, well, basically, I'm getting used to the idea of using this because it's a very different way of discovering gems in the market. I remember for a while I was using Crypto Screener on TradingView and using also Lunar Crash. In a manual way. That's another alternative that uses social data also to spot gems, to spot the best tokens and stuff like that. And the way that the new layout of the DCA bot is putting all of this together, I don't know if I can share my screen, but
Yes,
it's
please share your screen.
really, really cool. The way that you can narrow down and spot what is actually moving the most. This is the area, if I'm sharing my screen now, I don't know, guys, if you can
Where is
see.
it? No, we cannot see it. Yeah, now we
Ah, now
can
you
see.
can. Cool. So this is the DCA bot. And thanks to the new layout, now we have the option to see the chart and the settings of the bot on the left-hand side. I mean, you can change everything from the settings in here, but this is the way I use it. So one of the cool things that you can do with the market data insights is, let's say you want one day you are feeling like taking a short. So you can go straight into short and then you pick an exchange. In this case, I'm going to use futures perpetual on Bybit. And then after having done that, I head down to market data insight and I have this menu that allows me to narrow down my search. So straight from 3 comma. So I'm basically not needing to use trading view. and not needing the chart and not needing the crypto screener to do the whole thing directly from when I'm creating the bot. And that is pretty cool. You can see, for example, on the daily, I could say, oh, what has done above RSI 80 at the moment among all the coins, and then I start narrowing down by different time frames, including multiple time frames at the same time, and then even filtering by market capitalization, like leaving just the top 100 maybe. And
Mhm.
if you go obviously too extreme with your limits, with your filters, you're not going to see anything. At the moment, we have, for example, this token, which at the moment is with an RSI over 80 on the 4 hour on the daily. So that is pumping really hard, and it could potentially provide an opportunity to short. This is almost about to form a head and shoulders there. So you can see
Mhm.
how quickly I spot one token that can capture my attention. And then if I have my preferred settings in the bot for my short bots, I could potentially enter on a short right there, creating a custom bot specifically for that opportunity. You see that it took me just a few seconds to narrow down that opportunity.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And do you have maybe any like tips for beginners to maximize the tool's potential? You already showed us the example, but like something that people should be aware of that can help them with using this.
There's obviously different schools of trading with bots. Some people prefer to use the stop losses. Some people prefer uh, to use DCAing. In this case, for example, if I was to do a short with this token, and I was to place my safety orders to the upside because I'm shorting, I will be very cautious with doing something like that. I will prefer to use DCA with a long. Shorts can go infinite to the upside. So let's say we were wrong and this is due for continuing the pump, then I don't want to have my safety orders in here and then end up with a huge red back in a short. So that will be a tip in terms of be careful to short with safety orders in a bull market like that. In this case, what I could do is potentially create a short bot that once we break below the support, then it places a stop loss somewhere above the right shoulder. And I'm not saying this is not financial advice, this might fail and hit the stop loss, but this is one way of approaching this. Another way is using the technical analysis indicators, like using the RSI and setting some levels of RSI that I'm expecting to break for it to enter in that short. It's all about as well recognizing that we are at the moment in a strong uptrend. We are in the middle of altcoin season. Altcoin season index reached 90 just the other day. So yes, there can be pullbacks, there can be opportunities to short, but don't get too aggressive with the shorts. In these times, I prefer to get a little bit more aggressive with my longs.
Okay, yeah, definitely. The market conditions are wild right now. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for giving those tips. And I think in terms of the presentation of the feature, and like how it works, how you should use it, we covered it as for now. And I think that we can move to the section with the questions from the community. And guys, for everybody who's watching us, we have the specific mechanics for each and every MA session that we have. So before the MA session, we collect the questions, we gather the questions from you into a special form. And we pick top 5 questions that we're gonna cover in our live stream. So that's the first part of the questions. But with this specific MA session, we also decided to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions online in the live stream. So, if you have any questions regarding the crypto screener feature or Mariano's experience with it, please make sure to ask them in the chat, depending on what kind of platform you're watching us on. And right now, let's move to the pre-selected questions. And by the way, they were super interesting. I really enjoyed going through all of the questions, and because they're a little bit more about, about being comprehensive with using this feature. So, Mariana, are you ready to dive into the questions?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, let's do this, guys. It's a two-sided thing. You ask us questions, we give you comprehensive answers. Okay, so the first question is, I would like to know, how does the crypto screener handle data across different exchanges, and does it support cross-exchange analysis?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So, what I understand from the crypto screener is that 3Commas under the hood is pulling data from TradingView, is pulling the data of the rating, the volumes, and is also using CoinMarketCap to pull in the data from market capitalization and the RSIs and strong buy, all of that belongs to TradingView. And that is in general for the token. So what you need to know is, for example, let's assume that you're trading on OKX futures. Then you will have selected the exchange at the top in here. Every time that you change the exchange, the selection of tokens that are available in the market data insight are filtered out by the ones that are available for that particular exchange. So on OKX, obviously, there probably is like 300 tokens, and on Bybit there's another 300 tokens, but not the same ones because they get listed in very specific exchanges. So when you're filtering in here by these technicals, that is filtering out tokens that belong to the currently selected exchange. And you can select one exchange at a time. If you have multiple exchanges, you could have multiple bots, one with OKX, one with Bybit, one with Binance, and each one of them is going to give you access to that separate set of tokens, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for this, for answering this question. We have another one that's a little bit more about, strategies and a little bit high level. So, how do you align your trading strategies with insights from the crypto screener in practice?
I think the crypto screener for me, the market data insight, is a tool that I will personally use to spot opportunities every day. So I will probably think, how do I think the market is going to behave in the next few days? Am I thinking that there's going to be a potential pullback? Are we running too hot? Or if we have been coming down, are we about to reach support? And I will get that overview based on what's going on with Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin
Mhm.
dominance, doing that TA that I do every day. And then based on that, I will scan for opportunities either for longs or for shorts. In this
Mhm.
case, now at the moment, we've seen yesterday that Bitcoin went to 104 and then to 90K. It's kind of shaking off longs
Yeah.
and shorts because there's too much leverage in the system. But so
Mhm.
far on the 4 hour and on the daily, we are still kind of in an uptrend. And in that case, I will still look for longs. And that means that I will select the long in here, and then I will look for the ones that are currently experiencing being oversold. If I don't find anything with setting it to 30, maybe in the 1 hour, I will look in other time frames. Remember, you can use multiple time frames at the same time, but in this case, we can search for the 4 hour. There is nothing, there is nothing oversold. I'm looking at the crypto bubbles as well. This is something I also check sometimes. So you can see what's
Oh,
going on with the 4 hour at the moment, what's going on with the hour, what's going on with the day. So in the day,
wow.
we can see so many coins that are oversold. And I wonder why I'm not getting any oversold here. Maybe I'm applying some filter I'm not seeing. So time frame, because I'm combining 1 hour buy together with RSI oversold. So that doesn't make
Okay.
any sense. Let me see if I can get now some coins below 30. And trading view rating for our, oh, I don't see any coins coming in. Maybe I need to refresh. Let's do it again. So continue with the answer. Then I narrow down by what I'm actually looking for. Now it's working. Okay, so it seems like I had something selected that I didn't see, but you can see that this set of coins in here on the 1 hour are at the moment oversold in the 1 hours. Then I select them and I look at them in the chart and I see what they're actually doing. Let's move this to the 1 hour chart to see. Oh, this is very interesting candle data I'm seeing on the right hand side. But I look at the RSI, I apply basically my setup, which is breakouts from RSI, level of support and resistance, and the filtering of the coins together with the sentiment that I have for the day or for the upcoming days. That is kind of a swing trader, daily trader kind of mindset. It doesn't need to be necessarily the one that you share. Maybe you are more of a long-term trader. Maybe you want to trade a coin for a couple of weeks, and that is totally fine. It's just about which time frame you're going to select in here. The one is going to resonate more with how you fish for different opportunities.
Yep, thank you for covering this one. I think that was very useful. And guys, if you like what you're hearing, please let us know in the comments so we just get some feedback from you. And when it comes to the next questions, I would like to go through all of the ones that we have. And Mariana, you just pick the ones that you want to answer. So the next question we have is, with which settings or scope of what metrics would you use the crypto screener to spot trading opportunities in advance of them playing out?
So it all depends on the context. Let's say that we start another leg of total three of all the altcoins start pushing very strong. Let's say we are in a strong uptrend on all the altcoins at the same time. Then I will narrow down the ones that are currently slightly oversold during that uptrend, and I will look at the charts and say, okay, do I think that those are going to have some continuation to the upside? If that's the case, if I identify a level of RSI that I'm thinking that the coin is going to reach, then I look at this straight from the chart there and I set up my bot with some safety orders to the downside. That's a long during a strong uptrend. That shouldn't be that much of a problem as long as we are not too overbought, too high in the RSIs on the longer term, because that could also represent a too high risk. Maybe you're buying the top. We don't want to be doing that either. Another consideration is always look at the charts from the distance. Okay, so don't just, not because you're trading the 1 hour, you're just going to focus on what the coin is doing right there. Look at far in the distance what were the biggest move down that they have in the bear market, and then consider placing your safety orders accordingly. Of course, we are not in a bear market. We are not expecting to see a drawdown of 60% like we saw in the bear market, but even in the bull market, if the coin has rallied too much high, we should also be expecting eventually some cool downs, so some pullbacks, and that is totally normal, even in the bull market.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for answering this question as well. And I see that people are saying that they love what's going on and they like your way of answering questions, Mariana.
Cheers.
Thank you again for doing this. We really appreciate you sharing your experience. Um, so there are some questions. Let me just look for them because some of them are not really related to CryptoScanner. Um, uh, They're asking a lot about institutional adoption. Guys, the next MA session we're going to have is going to happen with our CEO, Yuri. So please keep those questions until we have him as a guest. This is, I think we're like partially covered this, but let me ask you this anyways, Mariana. So the question is, what are some tips for using the crypto screener to filter out coins with high volatility but low liquidity, which could be more risky?
With low liquidity, that's okay. That's a tough one because I will say that extreme levels of overbought and oversold is or strong buys, strong sells are extremes, right? So that means that the coin has made already a large move. Um, Remember, guys, that something that is overbought or something that is extremely oversold can remain in that condition. We don't necessarily think that because we reach that level is going to come back down immediately. Sometimes it remains in strong buy for a long time. So don't just short something because it's in a strong buy. Don't just short it because it with an RSI above 70 or above 80. That just shows you an opportunity, but you don't take all the opportunities. After I look at the chart, I decide whether I'm going to use it or not. And we are talking in here about the market data insight. I also have another tool, which is the BAQL, that changes the tokens automatically, and it can be connected with 3Commas. That is also available, doing it automatically. In this case, if I'm just going to use the market data insight as a crypto screener, I use this just to narrow down opportunities, but then I still look at the charts. For example, I really like, I use a lot RSI. I know, guys, I use MACD as well. There are other signals that are available on 3Commas here on deal start conditions that you can explore. There's a long list of them. And not everybody is so much into RSI like I am. I understand that. You can also consider, for example, moving averages or crossing of moving averages. The stochastic RSI is really great. For example, I've been using the stochastic RSI crosses on the 1 hour on Bitcoin with a bot, and that has also worked really well. Let me show you that setup. So in the chart, you will need, if you want to visualize it, you just type down stochastic RSI. You can favorite it and then have it right there. And just, I noticed that yesterday I entered this trade thanks to the bot, for example. You can see in here that there is a bull cross. Many people were panicking with this move down, but after it had the bull cross, it went up there and I already took profits. So it filled all the safety orders in this area. It filled pretty much all the safety orders because it was a move down of 7K to the downside on Bitcoin yesterday. And then I took profits somewhere in here. That was done by the bot itself. And notice that not all the bull crosses are good entries, okay? So the way I'm doing this is I'm making sure that I put enough safety orders for the volatility I'm expecting that month on Bitcoin. So I don't just put safety orders blindly. I study more or less how deep I'm expecting Bitcoin to go this month and stuff like that. We are in December, we just had November and October in green. It tends to be in green. So this filled all the safety orders and then it took profit. So I'm happy with that trade. But there are endless opportunities in terms of signals and coins that you can also trade.
Okay. Yeah, guys. Hope the comprehensive answer cleared this out. And there is another question, but it's a little bit with a pinch of salt. And I'm not sure if it's exactly should be directed to you. I think more like to the product team. But as for, a user of this feature, maybe you can give your insights. So the question is, as we're in the bull market and all ships rise with the rising tide, setting up a new tool is relatively easy. But is it also extensively backtested on how it will perform in bearish conditions? I mean, what do you think, how the crypto screener is going to perform in bearish conditions?
So the crypto screener is just another tool, right? So if you can use it in the bull market to take longs, to scan for opportunities, and in the bear market to take some shorts as well. It's basically you need to adapt your direction of the trade. That's one option. You can still take longs in the bear market, but you need to adapt your expectations. So, for example, that trade that I just showed, when you cross on the 1 hour the stochastic RSI, I might set up, might take profit to 2, 3, 5% in the bull market, and I can get away with filling all the safety orders and eventually exiting in profit in a sensible amount of time. In the bear market, that might not be the case. So in the bear market, you need to adjust your DCA orders, you need to adjust your take profits, make them more humble, and potentially even avoiding to trade at certain points in time. Like for example, when you are we are entering in that very heated time in the bull market where it's almost about to enter a bear market. Let's say end of 2025, and we keep stretching it, and Bitcoin keeps going higher and higher, and all the coins are doing thousands of percents. When you reach that point, you need to start thinking, should we start wrapping up this thing? Should we start being more cautious and maybe closing down some deals that are in profit, and taking a breather, maybe closing the bots for just 1 month and see what happens, because those moments where the whole market collapses, um, I can share my experience. In the bear market, there's almost no safety order that is going to save you. So you need to be a lot more cautious. But we are in the opposite times at the moment. We are at the times where we could take slightly extra risk and aim for higher when with our longs. And if we get caught in a trade that is bad, maybe we'll take 1 month to exit the deal. And then you're, as long as you obviously put those safety orders in a proper way. Of course, if you put your safety orders with just uh, depth of 1%, well, that is also difficult to close. But if you have 10, 15% safety orders in the bull market, depending on which coins, like Ethereum, BTC, should be fine. The lower the cap you go, then you need as well to pick safety orders lower. That's why you have the top by market capitalization in here. So those are filters. And for example, if I just restrict it to the top 100, those are going to have less volatility than if I'm picking 500. On 500, you're going to get very, very liquid assets, very volatile ones that can move 60% in any direction in hours. So for those really degen tokens, take very, very, very big precautions when you set up bots. Not because it has been doing something for a month, it will do it next month again. Indeed, it might be exactly the opposite. So that
Yeah.
is also true.
Yeah, guys, you have to be pretty careful and conscious with this. So thank you, Mariana, for answering this question as well. I have only two questions left for you. One is a little bit more about like the product side, and another one is a little bit more general. But guys, just keep in mind with the next question that Mariana is not the part of 3Commas team, and when he's going to answer this question, it's going to be his own perspective and how he would like to see this, not how exactly it will be implemented. But obviously, we're talking about this, and we really value Mariana's opinion, and our team communicates with him regarding this. Okay, so the question is, how do you see the crypto screener evolving in the future, and what new features or functionalities can we expect? That's how the question is formulated. But I would say, what new features or functionalities would you like to see in the crypto screener?
So I understand that now the crypto screener is a tool that provides very good value, particularly when it comes to being able to see the chart at the same time. So if one day I'm feeling like really I don't know what could I trade really in the market, this is going to significantly make it easier to narrow down a group of candidates that I could trade in about that day. So that makes it really great. But the thing I'm still missing is getting this in an automated way. So if once I select my criteria for selecting the coins and the particular sorting criteria as well, then I would like the bot to pick those coins automatically. And I understand that 3Commas has some plans to make some of this automated, incorporating it maybe as some conditions additional to the deal start conditions. That's very interesting to see. But I love automating things, so this is a great step in the right direction. I'm sure that people are going to love it. Many people use the trading bots to just cherry pick some coins and trade those for the day, and the day after they do. It's kind of a mix between being a manual trader and a bot trader at the same time. But if you want to fully automate that selection with your strategy and see how it goes for the long run, it will be a great addition to allow this to be automated. Now, if you want it fully automated, at the moment we have BAQL and we have the bot assistant. It's been there working with 3Commas for 4 years. It has become pretty mature. It offers data from many APIs, and it's really my favorite thing to use with 3Commas. But I'm hoping that this area in here also can become automated.
Yeah, totally agree. I think that's a logical next step of development. So, guys, as we are approaching our last question for today's MA session, please give us some reaction, some feedback, even one emoji in the comments, in the chat will let us know that you're enjoying what's going on, and we will try to do more of these kind of live streams for you in the future. Okay, so the next question, as I said, is going to be a little bit more general. So the user says, I try to make myself familiar with 3Commas trading tools. Now my question is, how can the 3Commas crypto screener help traders uh, yeah, I mean, basically, how can it help new traders who are just joining 3Commas, and should they focus on it more, or should they focus on other features?
Um, I think personally, uh, one thing I did that made me much better through the years in doing trading bots is learning about backtesting. And I think it's a must that people spend some time doing some backtesting on TradingView and learning about these indicators, how they work, and applying them, backtesting a period of 2 years of the coin and seeing, how many times the trade lasts for very long without closing, how many times you hit a stop loss, and what's the overall performance when you're running it multiple years. Doing that gave me a completely different perspective of the tool. I would say I wouldn't have learned that much just by staring at the form and start to pick random things here, because that really doesn't tell you whether you're missing out, whether there's something that you should be focusing on. I think backtesting is a must. Number two, once you do enough backtesting, using the paper bots on 3Commas to create your own experiments. The people that have done the best with trading bots, again, are people that are curious, do backtesting, and they're not rushing into just going straight into a deal with money. Let me get rich very fast. That kind of approach is just going to damage your portfolio. The people that have the patience and the time to explore, to educate themselves, and do the back testing, do the forward testing with paper account, and then joining communities and discussing their ideas with other more experienced users.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that stand for very long using 3 commas and for very long making profits. uh, I think that's the only way to go. um, but yeah, the good thing is that 3 commas offers so many indicators and so many alternatives. I know it can be initially a little bit overwhelming to see so many different alternatives of things that you can do. But if you have to start with something, uh, my preference of indicators are QFL, RSI, stochastic RSI, and no indicator is good by itself. I also look at the market and I do the back testing and I use my experience. So it is, in my opinion, is a fun thing to do and expand it for a long period until you become better and be humble and always hungry for learning new things.
Yeah, and do your own research and never wait for a money button. So you have to be smart about this. Okay, so that was the last question that we pre-selected from our community, and I see we have one question on LinkedIn from Anibal Herrera. He asks, "Do you have a support contact that I can ask questions to?" And my answer is yes. Guys, right now in the top right corner, you can see a little QR code that says join Telegram chat. You can join our Telegram chat and ask whatever questions you have to our experienced users, to our community moderators. And if you want to get specifically an answer from our support team, make sure you go to the platform itself and click on the support button that you can see there. Okay, so far that has been everything that we had for you today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for asking your questions and being active and showing us your support. Mariana, thank you so much for coming today, for taking the time and being so patient and explaining everything in details. I'm pretty sure the knowledge that you shared was very valuable for our community and for me personally as well. So thank you so much. And we hope we will do that sometime again. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Bye.